Welcome back, familia, to Northside LDN, caramba. And today we've got news of Mikel Arteta after lifting the Dubai Cup. Yes, we won the Dubai Cup, caramba. Florida champions and Dubai champions. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. But Mikel Arteta came out and said that we're going to have a very active, in his words, very active January transfer window. The quotes are, we are looking and we are very active looking at possibilities, he said after his side overcame Milan on penalties in a friendly in Dubai. If we can find players that can strengthen the team, we will try. Now, these words from Mikel Arteta, for me, me estressa a cabeça un poco, yeah? Me estressa, dá-me dá un pouco de stress, and I'm going to tell you why it's giving me a little bit of stress. Mikel Arteta said, if we can find the right players to strengthen the team, I'm sorry. The last time I looked at this squad, we have players like Lokonga, players like Rob Holding, players like Fabio Vieira, players like Eddie Nketiah. These are players like Cedric. There is a lot of positions that we need strengthening in. And a lot of these players ain't good enough to play for Arsenal. So for him to say, if we can find these players, is Mikel Arteta trying to tell me that they have not been scouting? Because I remember before the season started, Mikel Arteta, when the documentary dropped and everything else like that, he came out and he said, we scout for players. Him and Eddie both said they scout for players 6 to 7 months before the transfer window opens. So we should be going into the January transfer window with already 3 or 4 players for each position. And if we can't get target A, we go for target B. We can't get target B, we go for target C. If we can't get any of those players in that position, let's just say as a cam, then you move on to a striker. Saying that if we can find the players, I mean, I'm not asking Mikel Arteta to name the players. Of course, that'd be stupid. You're not going to name the players that you're interested in, obviously, for obvious reasons. But I'm expecting you to say, we will strengthen in January. We will be strengthening because there's various positions where we need to strengthen. Not only Gabriel Jesus getting injured that we need another striker, we needed another striker regardless. And this is why, because of this bucadia that happened, only having one good striker. We need another deep line playmaker, in my opinion. Granit Xhaka's had a decent season, but we still need another one. What happens if Granit Xhaka gets injured? We need another CDM because what happens when Partey gets injured? Last season, when Partey got injured, you had El Nene coming in and he wasn't good enough. So telling me that if we find these players is now stinking once again the same bucadia that we went through last January, which was selling a load of players again and not getting any players in. Last January, we got rid of 6 players. We always had the news that we were interested in Alexander Isak. What happened to that? Another one. You know what I'm saying? We were linked to another a striker that plays in Spain. The name now I don't forget, but we'll link to a 27, 28-year-old striker in Spain that plays for one of the smaller teams out in there in Spain. What happened to that one? And then we'll link to Vlahovic, and we'll ultimately know what happened with that one. He went to Juventus, and his agent came out and said that he was not interested in the Arsenal. So I want to hear more positivity from Edu, from Arteta, because you guys talk a big game. Now it's time to walk the walk. There was a lot of signings that we needed to do in the summer that we didn't do. And I don't want to see Douglas Luiz. If you remember, Douglas Luiz was another, last minute signing because, we had some injuries and we quickly tried to get Douglas Luiz in quickly. And really and truly, I didn't want Douglas Luiz. Douglas Luiz ain't Arsenal level. And if we're trying to be title contenders, which we should be every season, that is my expectation for this club. That is the expectation of Arsenal being one of the biggest teams in this country. Douglas Luiz, for me, isn't good enough. El Nene ain't good enough, but Douglas Luiz isn't good enough. And a team and a club of the stature of Arsenal, I expect planning. Not if we can find a player. They should be players there. Because I'll tell you what, we already saw our rivals buying players that would easily walk into the Arsenal team. Guimaraes at Newcastle. We've seen Basuma go into Spurs. These are players that would get in. Especially if we had injuries, they'll get into our starting 11. So I don't want to say none of this about, if we can find players, if there's players available, make them available. Most players get bought out their contract. So make them available. Do you get what I'm saying? I don't want to hear none of this bucadia coming out with, if we can strengthen the team, if we find, Now, I don't want to hear none of that. You lot promised us a big summer. So now I'm expecting a big January. And if you can't do it in January, then why didn't you go and do it in the summer? You can't have it both ways. You can't promise us the whole world in the summer, then under-deliver, and then when it comes to January, say, oh, well, it's too hard to buy in January, nobody wants to sell. No, my standards for this football club is to be competing and to be prepared. The thing that I want at Arsenal is preparation. We've always lacked to prepare. Did we really prepare for Gabriel Jesus to get injured? I mean, the minority was saying what I'm saying, that we should have got 2 strikers, but the majority was saying get 1. And now everyone's flustering around saying, oh, we need to get another striker. The fact that we were trying to get Douglas Luiz last minute, is that Arsenal Football Club being prepared or being reactive? You know, proactive and reactive. This club has always been reactive. I want this club now to be proactive. We're in a great position. We're in a position that nobody expected us to be. And to be honest, we already got things that go against us. Man City have the ability and experience to know how to win 20 games in a row, 12 games in a row. Do you know what I mean? Win the Premier League. They got that experience. They got a better manager. I don't think that's even debatable. So let's try and close the gap and go out there and get players that we need. And listen, there's one player, well, there's various players that have been linked to Arsenal. But the first one is Dusan Vlahovic. Obviously, it's no secret. Anybody that's been keeping up with club football, even though the World Cup's been going on, you'll be seeing that Juventus, they've had some dramas. Certain board members resigning. I think it was 9 or 10 of them that resigned. And obviously, it looks allegedly, got to put that word in there before someone try to clip me up or before the video gets taken down. Allegedly, there's been some corruption and cooking the books. And am I surprised? No, because a lot of these lower leagues, they don't earn as much money as the Premier League, and they're trying to catch up and trying to keep up. I ultimately think that they effed themselves with the Ronaldo deal, because financially, I don't think that they could afford his wages, but it is what it is. Now, Dusan Vlahovic, this season, he scored 6 goals and 1 assist in 10 appearances so far. Obviously, the season isn't over. Just give me a sec. I'm getting a call from work, people. Give me one. Flipping hell, he wouldn't let me get off the phone. Anyway, Dusan Vlahovic, back to that. This is what happens when you're multitasking. Man's working 24-hour and still trying to give you lot content. I know the content went down a little bit during the World Cup. I had a little bit of a break and just focused it mainly around Portugal. But now we're back to Arsenal. Dusan Vlahovic. Now, obviously, I don't watch the Serie A. I don't watch every game in the Serie A, and I don't pretend to. I was watching a lot of the highlights for all the goals that he scored last year and some of the goals that he scored this year. And one thing that I realized with Dusan Vlahovic, from what I can see, he's not a player that is going to be involved in the build-up to a counter-attack. He's not going to spark a counter-attack. He's a player that wants to receive the ball in the last phase of the game. So he wants to receive the ball. When there's a counter-attack, he wants to be the last man. A lot of times he runs into space. He's quite good in the air. So he has different attributes. And this is what I want to see from Arsenal. I don't want the same carbon copy kind of player. If I'm going to be completely honest, I wouldn't mind, because anything is an upgrade on Eddie Nketiah. We already know that Eddie Nketiah isn't good enough. But ultimately, I think Vlahovic brings us another dimension. And I always think that you need this. I remember back in the day when Man United, you had Wayne Rooney, but then you had Berbatov. You know, Wayne Rooney was more explosive, technically not as good as Berbatov, but he was a very good finisher, where you had Berbatov that was technically very, very good. And he didn't have the pace, but he was technically very good, more of a fox in the box. And then you got 2 different weapons, you know, when the opposition is nullifying Jesus. And for as great as Jesus has been, let's be real, there's been games where he could have scored more. And for all the good he brings, we just need somebody that's going to put the ball in the back of the net, which is ultimately what a striker is there to do. So at the end of the day, for me, Vlahovic will give us another dimension. Better in the air. Wants to receive the final ball. He's a lot bigger. He can muscle defenders off, even though I have to admit, Gabriel Jesus isn't a lightweight. But let's get something different, caramba. Like, listen, at the end of the day, yeah, I think Dusan Vlahovic can do a lot worse. I would have potentially have gone for Ivan Toney, but with everything that's going on with him legally, is he available? Is he a player that we're not going to see playing anymore? Is it kind of going down the same route as Mason Greenwood? I don't know. From the reports that I've seen, that's where it's looking. I don't know. So will Arsenal go for him? Probably not even look at him until his legal stuff is all sorted out. So at the end of the day, I think Vlahovic will bring something different to Arsenal, and I do think that he's got a lot of potential. And the good thing is, Juventus need money. Of course, it's not going to pay. It's not going to be peanuts. Obviously, Transfermarkt has got him worth 80 million euros, which I think is a bit too much. But he's 22 years old. Even if he doesn't work out, he's got sell-on value. Even if you get him for, I'd say, 50 mil, something like that. But then again, with 50 mil, you could go and get somebody else. So there's other strikers which we are going to get into that Arsenal are being linked to. So there's all these options. It's a good thing to have options. I want Arsenal to have different options. But are we actually going to go for him? Because all these reports reporting us with Vlahovic, I take it with a pinch of salt. Most of these journalists talk absolute bullcrap. I've seen Arsenal get linked with everyone. The Tielemans deal is dragging on. I don't understand why. The player wants to leave. The club needs to sell because they can't afford to let him go for nothing. Yeah, that should be more than simple enough to get it done. Most of the time, it gets held up if you don't meet what the player wants in wages, and the club doesn't really want to sell. Those are the two main things that will hold up you getting a player over the line. Both player and club know they want to move on. They know they're going to part. Just get it done. Just get it done. Because if something happens to Granit Xhaka, or if he drops back down to the Granit Xhaka we've been seeing for the last 6 years and not the Granit Xhaka we've seen this year, then what's going to happen then? Then it's all going to be shoulda, woulda, coulda like last summer. Like the last January transfer window when we should have got business in and we didn't get it done. And it was back to the same bucaria. Do you know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, man, I've seen us being linked to Higuain, Draxler. I've seen us getting linked to Bear, man. Do you know what I mean? And it fall through. So take it all with a pinch of salt. I would take Vlahovic. Is he number one? No, I would preferably go for Ivan Toney. I would go for Rafael Leao, that I think had a very good World Cup with the limited amount of minutes that he had. I would rather go for somebody. There's other strikers now. It's slipping my mind, but there's other strikers that I'd put above Vlahovic, but I wouldn't mind Vlahovic. The one thing I know for certain that I don't want is to continue on the season with just Eddie Nketiah because it ain't good enough. And if something happens to Eddie Nketiah, then what do we do? So at the end of the day, for me, do some Vlahovic, I wouldn't mind. But I think I would prefer this guy here. João Felix. João Felix to me is the type of striker that I think would fit into Arsenal perfectly. If I'm being completely honest, I think João Felix has all the ability in the world to become a great Arsenal player. But is he going to be cheap? No, he's not going to be cheap. João Felix will not be cheap if he comes to Arsenal. At the end of the day, everyone already knows that he's not fitting in with the style over there at Atletico Madrid. He doesn't fit a defensive style of football. When he was at Benfica, he was good. He was played as a second striker. He's 23 years old. So he's still young. They bought him for over 100 mil and it hasn't worked out. And I was a bit baffled when he went to Atletico Madrid. But ultimately, I think he could fit into Mikel Arteta's system. We saw the best game he had in the World Cup was for Portugal against Switzerland, where he was able to drift into the left, drift onto the right, drift in the middle, and he's able to drop in deep, bring other players into the game, and he can also run off the shoulder of the defender, get the ball, and put it in the back of the net. So he has the ability to score and also assist. Those are two qualities that Vlahovic doesn't have. So, and playing with that license and playing with a team that goes forward and attacks and can express themselves the way that Arsenal play under Mikel Arteta, I think it'd be a good signing. And playing with the confinements at Atletico Madrid that he has to bust a gut all the time to drop back and do his defensive duties. He doesn't have the freedom to move around the way he wants to. I think he can find the good form that he had at Benfica over here at Arsenal. So João Felix, I mean, Transfermarkt's got him at 50 million euros. I think 50 to 60, because ultimately he hasn't really kicked on since leaving Portugal. So, they got him for what, 126? I think coming to Arsenal, They know they're not going to get that money back. They're going to have to probably, about half of that, 50, 60 million, because the potential is always there. The ability is there. I think João Felix would source it at the Premier League if he can bulk up and if he can show he's not going to get bullied off of the ball. That's the only thing. He's still a bit lightweight. He still looks, body-wise, he still looks a bit like a teenager a little bit. I'd like him to bulk up a little bit, get a little bit more, because we see when you're going to be, dragging defenders out of position, when you're going to be running at defenders with the ball. In the Premier League, you're going to get kicked, you're going to get stamped, you're going to get barged and pushed off the ball. We have to see that João Felix is going to stay on his feet, because this is not the Portuguese league and it's not the Spanish league. You're not going to go down and also always get the decision to go for you. This is the Premier League. They expect you to get back up. The referees are not going to protect you. In Spain and Portugal, you can have that protection. In England, you're not going to get that protection. So let's see if he can adjust. João Felix is a bad boy player. He just went to a club that just doesn't play to his strongest attributes. And that's all it really is. It's just a misfit. I still think the boy has a lot of ability. And I would love to see João Felix at Arsenal. I can't lie. Mudryk is another one that's been linked to Arsenal. And I'm getting sick and tired of the links. If I'm going to be completely honest, just go and get the boy. Like, he plays for Shakhtar Donetsk. He plays for the Ukrainian league. It ain't really that hard, is it? Go out there and get it done. That's all I'm saying. Like, to be honest, I'm not even like super bothered if we get him, because I think there's other options. There's other wingers out there. That I think can come into this team and actually do. I wouldn't say do a better job, because we are yet to see if this Mudryk guy can actually live up to the hype surrounding him. Obviously, he had a lot of good performances in the Champions League, but there's a lot of players that can hit the ground running that are already here in the Premier League. You've got Zaha, you've got Pedro Neto, you've got even Trossard. These are players that are already ready to affect the team. And I just feel like, and I'm going to stick by this, in January, you have to buy players that are top players or very good players that are already at your league, that are ready, especially the Premier League being the best league in the world. You need players that are really going to be able to hit the ground running and spur you on, especially in a position that we are. We don't have time to be bringing in players like Mudryk and having to bed them in like we're doing with Fabio Vieira. Now, Fabio Vieira didn't come to Arsenal with the same hype as Mudryk, but at the end of the day, it's just hype. You don't know if it's going to work out or not. You know what I'm saying? Arguably, you can even look at João Felix and say, well, would he need time to be bedding as well? And this is probably why I'd rather lean towards somebody like an Ivan Toney and strikers like that. But it is what it is, man. I think the summertime, you can bring in a Mudryk, you can bring in a Vlahovic and players like that you can have a preseason with them, you can train them, you can get them ready to the system and then see if with a good preseason they can kick on. I think it's always a risk. I mean, Mudryk, obviously, it's not really what he's doing in the Ukrainian league, but his performance in the Champions League, 6 appearances, 3 goals, 2 assists. Obviously, people have high expectation. Will he live up to that expectation? We've already had people like Werner, Havertz come from the Bundesliga, which is a league way above the Ukrainian league, with all due respect. Let's keep it real. What kind of league is a Ukrainian league? Let's just keep it 100. Come here and not really set it alight. Havertz, Werner, these are players that haven't really set it alight. Naby Keita was another player that came to the Premier League, didn't really set it alight. Do you get what I'm saying? He hasn't really set it alight. So at the end of the day, this is all potential. At the end of the day, I'd rather go and get in January players that are able to affect and produce now. I don't want players for the future. I don't want players that are going to take time. I don't want none of that pukaria. I want players that can affect the team now. Is that Mudryk? I don't think so. 21 years old, you're playing in the Ukrainian league, and it's a big ask. I mean, I'm seeing, the transfer market has put about 40 million euros up for Mudryk. I think Shakhtar want closer to like 60 million euros for a player that's not proven, for a player that hasn't really been, is not even playing for a top European league, is not really producing. I mean, he's produced only, a couple of performances in the Champions League. Is that enough to go by? Is that really enough to go by? I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to be completely honest. You know what I mean? We've seen Darwin Núñez also come to Liverpool, come to the Premier League from the Portuguese league. Not the Ukrainian league. The Portuguese league, with all due respect, is way stronger than the Ukrainian league. Come from the Portuguese league and still take time to adjust to the Premier League. So let's just keep it real. There's levels to this. It's not just, because there's hypes and compilations on YouTube and this and that the player's definitely going to come here and hit the ground running. So it is what it is. It is what it is. Mudryk, would you take him? For me, so far, I would take Vlahovic and I would take João Felix. Why is it always that we can only do one? That's another thing that's pissing me off, yeah? I keep seeing news reports about, oh, would you take this one? Would you take that one? Would you take that one? Listen, we're a lot stronger. If we go for João Felix, he can play as a second striker. He can play as a number 10. Give him the license to roam around. He's levels, absolute levels above Odegaard. It's not even a question. He has levels above Odegaard. Put João Felix in that number 10 role. Then get Vlahovic. There you go. We're already stronger. We're a lot stronger going forward. Then you go and get Paulinho. Then you got another CDM, so you're comfortable if Partey gets injured. And then you just go get another right back. And all of a sudden, we're so much stronger. And go and get Tielemans. That's about 4 signings. That's what we need. We need 3 or 4 signings. I don't want to see this bookery about, oh, we're only going to get one signing. Go out there and do what you lot said that you would do, which is a big statement, a big signings, and go out there and produce. I'm not hearing none of this bookery and none of this chat, yeah, about we're only going to get one player. I don't care. They didn't do what they need to do in the summer. Go out there and get it done and come and do your maximum to try and deliver a Premier League title to Arsenal. That should be the expectation. That is what Mikel Arteta, Edu, all of these lot said at the start of the season. The expectation is to always compete for titles. We will not be competing if we do not strengthen this squad. The bench is shocking. And when we saw it in the Dubai game, it ain't strong enough and good enough. Fabi Vieira ain't good enough. Lokonga ain't good enough. Nketiah ain't good enough. Marquinhos at this moment in time ain't good enough. All these men are potential players. They're not good enough at this current moment to keep up with Man City. A Man City that have riches, an abundance of talent on the bench. At the end of the day, go out there and do what needs to be done. João Felix as a number 10. Vlahovic as the striker up until Jesus gets back, and go and get a CDM and a deep line playmaker, and all of a sudden Arsenal are a lot stronger, even if you don't want to get the right back position. You know what I'm saying? This is what we need to do. That's 3 signings already there. Boom, we're already looking stronger. That's what I'm saying. If Arsenal are serious, that's how we be moving. You know what I mean? But we're not Arsenal. They did a bare minimum. We probably weren't going to get another striker up until Jesus got injured. That's why I said it's probably a blessing in disguise, because we weren't going to get another striker. Do you know what I mean? In a way. You know what I mean? Because now they're forced to get another. They have to get another striker. There's no other way. You know what I'm saying? You can't just have Eddie and Nketiah. You can't. You need another striker. You need rotation. You know? It's absolutely crazy. Ismail Benacer is another player being linked to Arsenal at AC Milan. CDM can also play attacking midfielder and central midfielder, and he's been playing well at Syria. Won the league over there in Syria. And listen, this guy's better than El Neni. So ultimately, he's going to be rotation. He's not going to get into the team over Thomas Partey. Let's just keep it real. He's not going to get over the team, but he's decent rotation. You know, I rate him more than I rate Douglas Luiz. I would get him in. I think there's other players that I'd rather go for, like a Paulinho that plays for Fulham. At the end of the day, what they bought him for 20 million. If you go in there, put down 40 million, you think they're going to reject it? They can't reject it. It's Fulham. All due respect, is Fulham, and we're Arsenal. So at the end of the day, we need to impose ourselves as a big club and go out there and get the business done. Now, are we really going to get Benacer? I don't know. I don't know, because I take all of this with a pinch of salt. This is just a lot of the players that have been linked to Arsenal. But they're definitely, some of them are players that I would take. Some of them I wouldn't take. Ferran Torres wasn't that amazing at Man City, goes to Barcelona, and it looks like they're trying to get rid of him. For me, I wouldn't take Ferran Torres. I don't care, he's 22. I think he's one of those players that got the Spanish tax. You know what I mean? They're trying to big him up like Xavi and all those, like Gabi. Is it Gabi or Javi or whatever his name is? The youngster at Barcelona. I just think a lot of times, like, if you got the right passport, all of a sudden, you know what I mean? You get an abundance of teams. Look at Morata. Prime example, Morata. When you got the right passport, all of a sudden, yeah, they just rate you. But if these men had like a British passport, if these men had a Ukrainian passport or whatever, another country that, you know what I mean? All of a sudden, the price tag wouldn't be what the price tag is. Morata, he's been robbing a living. That guy's never been clinical enough. Do you know what I'm saying? But because he's Spanish, all of it, and the Spanish bring through great players, he gets a pass. Ferran Torres, again, listen, he can turn. There is potential for him to turn into a good player, but at this moment in time, will Ferran Torres actually be affecting Arsenal? Is he a top player? And if he's so great, how come Man City were happy to let him go, and now Barcelona seem like they're happy to let him go at the right price? I don't think he's all that. For me, I'd pass on Ferran Torres. I don't think he's all that. I think he's a little bit overhyped. And we can do better on the wings. I think I'd rather Trossard over Ferran Torres. I'd rather Zaha. I'd rather all these man there than Ferran Torres. He's been valued at £35 million on transfer mark. But I mean, sorry, not good enough. Not the level that I want at Arsenal. Ndika. There's rumours saying that Arsenal could get Ndika. And for me, I'm not really that fussed. But when you're looking at rotation, is Ndika better than Rob Holding? Yeah, I mean, what centre-back isn't better than Rob Holding? Or Rob Holding absolutely shocking. Even against the depleted AC Milan, you're still looking rocky. So it just goes to show you the level of Rob Holding. But for me, Ndika, yeah, it'd be an upgrade on Rob Holding. Will he really be pushing in to get in the starting 11 at Arsenal? No. Is he better than Saliba? No. Is he better than Gabriel? I don't think so, even though I think Gabriel needs to work on his concentration. So, I mean, unless we're getting rid of Rob Holding, but Rob Holding's one of the yes men. He's one of Arteta's yes men. Yes, Mikel Arteta, you need me to sit on the bench? I'll sit on the bench and just collect my wage. Yeah? You need me to come on just for the Carabao Cup? That's good. That's good. I don't care. I don't care about my career. I'm only here to collect paychecks. That Filho da puta is a scrub. Absolute scrub. You know what I'm saying? He's lucky he's at Arsenal. And he knows he is. That's why he doesn't kick up a fuss, because he should be playing for Bolton. He should be playing for Dundee United. He should be playing for flipping, I don't even know, Swansea or something. You know what I mean? This guy should not be at Arsenal, but there you go. It's jobs for the boys sometimes, and it is what it is. But Ndika being linked to Arsenal, I mean, I'm tired of seeing this guy being linked to Arsenal, to be honest. Ibrahima Bamba is a 20-year-old Italian that plays for Vitória Guimarães in the Portuguese league. He plays as a CDM. 12 appearances, no goals, no assists. For me, this is the problem. We don't need players like this right now. We've already seen what's happened with Fabi Vieira. We don't need this Bamba guy now to come in and do whatever he thinks he's going to be doing. For me, nah. He's in the Portuguese league. He's not tested. I just feel like, I can't be relying on these 20-year-olds from these inferior leagues to come down here and be doing that. For me, I'd rather just, not for me. Not for me. And this is the problem. This is the kind of move I can see Arsenal doing. These youngsters. But it gets to a point where you need some players that are already in their prime, have been there, done that, can lead the rest of the team, can lead the boys. That's what we need. We don't need no more Bambas, and we don't need none of that. We already got the Congas. We already got enough Project Youth players. I'm not on none of that. You know what I'm saying? Go get me some serious players and stop linking Arsenal to these bums. I'm not down for that. Do you know what I'm saying? That's how I feel. At the end of the day, we're in a title challenge against Man City, and we've got a lot of big games coming up. Obviously on the 26th, Boxing Day, we've got West Ham. And when you look at the first 5 fixtures, take away the FA Cup match, when you look at the first 5 fixtures, Arsenal got a lot of hard games coming back from the World Cup, from the World Cup break. We got West Ham, which is always a tricky game. You got Brighton, that even though they lost Potter, Brighton are still playing like Brighton, even though Potter's not there anymore. So that's going to be a difficult game. Brighton plays some exceptional football. Then you look at the Newcastle game. I mean, they're third in the table. It goes about say how great Newcastle have been. They're really constructed. Eddie Howe is really constructing a great team. You know what I'm saying? And we're facing these teams without Gabriel Jesus, remember, because he's out for 3 to 4 months. Then you look at Tottenham. You got Tottenham on the 15th of January. Gabriel Jesus ain't going to be there for that as well. And then you got Manchester United. And Man United that I think are playing way better since Ten Hag has taken over. And I think they're just going to get better. They're just going to get better with what they're doing. They got Casemiro. They got Antonio. They got, Rashford's come back from the World Cup in good form. So, it ain't going to be easy. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games straight at the back. We don't have Jesus, and they're not going to be easy games. Are Arsenal going to go into January, get business done early, do what we need to do, and actually strengthen this team properly? I don't want to hear quotes like, if we find the right player. No. You will find the right player, because at the end of the day, it's ridiculous that clubs like Newcastle, clubs like Aston Villa, and clubs like that are able to strengthen their teams in January and go and get players. And we're always looking at, can we get this player? Or, if we get this player, we can't get that player. Listen, we're in an exceptional situation right now, being able to potentially go out there and get a player like João Felix. At the end of the day, depending on who goes in for João Felix will be an exceptional player for Arsenal, whether we play him as a false 9 or a number 10. I'd rather play João Felix as a number 10. and allow him the freedom that and allow him to express himself like he did for Portugal against Switzerland. Take out Odegaard. Odegaard can be, impact sub, and then put Gabriel Jesus when he's fit, or put Vlahovic there. That is now me looking at Arsenal saying, okay, we're going for it. We're being serious about it. We're trying to actually go out there and get it done. Get another winger as well. We need rotation. We need rotation in this team because at the end of the day, we can't just be relying on the youngsters. When you're looking at the players that have been contributing for Arsenal so far this season, Martinelli, 5 goals, 2 assists. Who rotates with him? Because ESR is always getting injured and Marquinhos doesn't seem to get a look in over Martinelli. He barely gets any games. I mean, Marquinhos only made 1 appearance so far this season. Then you're looking at Gabriel Jesus. Obviously, he's injured. You got Reece Nelson that didn't do too bad, to be fair. 2 appearances, 2 goals, 1 assist. That's not bad at all by any stretch of the imagination. He did have a very good performance when he got his chance, and hopefully he can kick on. If he can kick on, then we've got some rotation. But I mean, it is what it is. His contract coming up, and maybe he's just playing up to the contract, and then he's going to drop down in his performances. So at the end of the day, we do need better than Reece Nelson. Let's keep it real. We don't know if Reece Nelson can keep up this form till the end of the season. We have not seen it yet. So that is what it is. Nketiah, we already know he ain't good enough. 12 appearances, 0 goals, 0 assists. Am I shocked? No. Fabio Vieira, 8 appearances, 1 goal, 1 assist. Apparently, all the super Arsenal fans were saying he's what we needed. 8 appearances, 1 goal, 1 assist. Ain't good enough, especially with all the hype surrounding him. Granit Xhaka has actually been very good. Playing as a deep line playmaker, 14 appearances, 3 goals, 3 assists. Granit Xhaka has been played well, to be fair, this season. Bukayo Saka goes without saying, but who we're going to rotate? Granit Xhaka, who we're going to rotate? These are 2 players that, if we need to rotate, or if they're out of form, or if they get a red card, if they're suspended, who do we put in? We need rotation for that. ESR goes without saying, 4 appearances, 0 goals, 0 assists. I think ESR is a player with a lot of ability, but the thing is, what's going on with his injuries? His injuries are shocking. Odegaard, who do we put in if he's injured? Because Smith-Rowe can play that position, but he gets injured. Who do we play if Odegaard gets injured? Now, I don't think Odegaard is the be-all, end-all, but at the end of the day, he's been having a decent season so far. 13 appearances, 6 goals, 2 assists. Who comes in if he gets injured? Sambi Lokonga, the quicker we get him out on loan, the better. I mean, even in the Dubai Cup, the guy just ain't got it. 6 appearances, 0 goals, 0 assists. Just goes without saying. Thomas Partey, great player. 11 appearances, 2 goals. But what happens if he gets injured or suspended? You drop levels down, put in El Nene as a right back. Yeah, Ben White has been playing well, but would you be happy if Ben White gets injured? Would you be happy with Cedric? I wouldn't. Tomiyasu, I wouldn't. I think both of them are pretty similar. I want a lot more than them two. So at the end of the day, we need a lot more. We need a lot more. This team is not complete. This team needs a lot more, and we need. Listen. Let's see. We don't know. I don't know what the club's going to do. But if we're going to go back on the past, we always see the club do the bare minimum. The club always set out to do the bare minimum. There's always an excuse why Arsenal can't go out there and actually get the players that are needed. And hopefully we don't do that. We don't do that this January. But I don't know. The excuse last season was, it's hard to get players in January. Really? How did Newcastle do it? And they were in a relegation position. You know what I'm saying? And look, it lifted them out of relegation. And this is the thing. It's going to give us the push that we need. I'm talking about 3 players. 3 players. I'm expecting minimum of 3 players. If we don't, I'm going to be fuming. And I want that Filho da Puta Edu. And I want the other one, Kitama Fodera Cabeza Arteta, talking nonsense about youth project. Both of you can fuck off. Because I ain't got no more time and energy to be wasting on you lot. This is a golden opportunity. If you lot don't capitalize on that, I am done. I'm done, and I'm gunning for all of you lot. Let's see what the Conke is about. Because I'm seeing them with members of AFTV taking pictures and all this kind of crap. Bro, I don't give a shit, innit? Go out there and do what needs to be done. Strengthen this team. Because I want to win the Premier League. And then I want to kick on next season to win the Champions League. And ultimately, the more business we get done in January, we don't need to do as much in the summer transfer window. So get it done now. You got something to play for now. The summer transfer window, you got nothing to play for. The season hasn't started, and then it kicks off, and you don't know how that season's going to go. This is the season where we're in a title race. So go and do what is necessary. Makes no sense to me to back this manager all this time, and then now, what's going on? So at the end of the day, I'm not hearing it. I'm not hearing it. You can't back Arteta finishing 8th and then 5th and then not back him now in this position. You know, do I rate Arteta? No, I don't think Arteta is that great. Yeah, but now that he's got us in this position, go out there and do what's necessary. I don't care about all these journals and all this coming out with Arsenal's linked to this and Mudryk is close and this and that. Listen, these same journalists are the same ones talking absolute pucaria, yeah? Talking about, Tielemans is close and we're going to get that deal. And that deal's still dragging on. They act like they're in the know, but they're not in the know. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm not hearing it. I'm not hearing none of it. Yeah? Let's see what Arsenal actually do, and it is what it is. I don't want to be waiting to the last day of the transfer window and we start trying to look for panic buyers like flipping Douglas Luiz. I'm not on none of that. Go out there and get done what needs to be get done. That is it. It's as simple as that. Arsenal, if you cannot do that, then I'm coming for your head top, yeah? Porque não vamos estar aqui, me foder a cabeça, me estressar, me pôr ansioso, looking at every day the same players being rotated on the same spinning wheel, bro. You know what I'm saying? Arsenal fans we just need to be chilled and collected and wait to the end of the transfer window. Because if there was a time to judge what this club is about, is now. Go out there and do what's necessary. I don't want to hear nothing about, we're going to finish top 4. I don't want to say, we're ahead of schedule. I don't give a shit. Football changes and the clubs need to change along with it. At the end of the day, yes, we may have had a plan and we didn't expect, maybe the club didn't expect themselves to be in a title, be able to push for a title challenge with this team. Now that you're in it, when you see João Felix available, when you see Vlahovic available, when you see Zaha potentially available, when you see these caliber players, you go in there and you get those players. Because a lot of times it's an opportunity, and if you miss that opportunity, then it's done. It is done. Yeah? And if any Arsenal fan has not learned that last season, being reactive instead of proactive made us bottle top 4, then I don't know what else to say to you. Because if we had a sign last January, we would have comfortably gotten to top 4 and pipped Tottenham. But we didn't. We didn't do what we needed to do in January, and then we failed at our objective. This January, the objective is to win the league. Not to come second, not to be third, not to be fourth, to win the league. Win the league. And that's it. If we go after January and we rely on the youngsters that have been trying to pull us up this whole time, we will bottle it. Saka will get tired. Martinelli will fatigue. Gabriel Jesus will get fatigued as well. Yeah? These players are youngsters. They need to be rotated at some point, and they also need players that are able to manage the game and show them how to win games and show them how to win at the crunch times. Arsenal used to have Patrick Vieira's, we used to have Ljungbergs and Perez's and Petits and these players there that would pull the team up and had that grit at the end of the crunch games and the business side of the season. Who do we have of that equivalent right now at Arsenal? Man United used to have Ryan Giggs, Paul Scholes, Rio Ferdinand. You know what I'm saying? Veterans, Phil Neville. Do you get what I'm saying? These are the men that pull you through in the crunch games. We see Man City have a company. They had David Silva. They had Aguero. They had all these men to pull them up when they needed proper performances. Yeah, these men show up. That's what we need at Arsenal, because we lack that. We don't have that. We have a lot of good players with potential, but they're youngsters. They're not leaders yet. They're leaders to an extent, but they're not seasoned veterans. We need to be adding seasoned veterans. I don't want to be seeing stupid players like Ferran Torres and Ndikas and Ibrahima Bamba and all these men. Go with the Bamba club about Bamba. I don't need no Bamba. With the Bamba all. You know what I mean? Now I'm done with all of that. Yeah? Come get me some proper experienced players that are going to be able to grab Martinelli under the wing and all these ESR under his wing and actually push him forward. That is what we need. That is what we need. Because at the end of the day, this is why we fell short at the end of the season. And teams that don't have that, they fall off. They don't have the veterans. They don't have proven winners, actual nitty-gritty winners that know how to dig you out of a game, even if the game ain't going in your favor. Arsenal don't have that coming off the bench, nor as a starter. We don't have that. We don't have that. Let me get into the comments, because there's bare comments. Big up to everyone that's in the building. Listen, big up to all of you lot. The Arsenal content's coming, heavy these days now. So make sure you hit the like and subscribe button. Make sure you're always notified every day. But well, I'm gonna try and drop videos daily, but it's definitely not gonna be 5-day gap and all of that, like I was doing for the World Cup. But yeah, it is what it is. Let's see what. Hold on. Wow, so many comments. I thought that was the first comment. Right, let's get to the first comment. You have to be proactive when you have this golden opportunity. Exactly. But the club know whatever excuse they put out there, then that'll be the excuse. Oh, we couldn't compete because the club wanted too much money. We didn't want to overpay. Remember Pepe? We overpaid for Pepe. Or we couldn't find the right player. Or we have to comply with financial fair play. All this bullshit that they're going to come out with. Trust me, Arsenal got lined up loads of excuses. Trust me, this is how Arsenal roll. You know what I'm saying? They build you up like this. We got a big plan and mega war chest and all this bullshit that they come out with, yeah? But really and truly, when have Arsenal actually gone out there and started buying established winners? When's the last time we went out there and actually bought an established winner? Because we made Thierry Henry into what he was. We made Patrick Vieira into what he was. Do you know what I'm saying? We made Fabregas into what he was. We made Nasri. Do you know what I'm saying? We made Adebayor. Most of the time, we made these players. When has Arsenal actually gone out there and bought, a player made already? Boom, done. When? Probably Ozil. Is he the only one? Do you know what I'm saying? Probably, because he was already sourcing at Real Madrid. Other than that, when do we actually go, bro, this is what we need and this is what we need to do. Arsenal love to chat shit, yeah? But when it really gets to it, do they actually back the talk that they say? They told us it's all about winning trophies. Football's all about winning trophies, which I agree. It's all about winning trophies. The expectation of Arsenal should always be competing to win trophies. So go out there and get us players that's going to help us continue to sustain this run. That's it. Simple as that. Simple as that. Big up my bro, Northside, my familia. Big up, man. Caramba. Listen, big up to all of you lot, man, that are in the building. Listen, I'm working 24/7, but I'm still giving you lot content. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm going to try back to be doing it daily, getting the views back up so you lot can see, man's back on being consistent. I needed a little break. I can't lie. YouTube, trust me, it's not easy, man. Doing a full-time job and then being on live, the massive ring light, it can be a lot. But listen, big up to all of you lot that are locked in. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe button. Big up to D1. Big up to Arsenal, man. Big up to all of you lot, man. You know what I mean? If you can find players to improve the team, of course you could. Plenty of improvement. This is what I'm saying. Are they trying to tell us that we can't get better than Eddie Nketiah, Fabio Vieira, and man like Rob Holding and them man there? Come on, man. We can't get better than El Nene. Do you know what I mean? Long time Northside, bless up, Don. Big up to you, bro. Big up to you. Listen, people. You can even listen. Get in as well. Your predictions for today's game: France against Morocco. Listen, I'm going for Wakanda. Team Wakanda, caramba. Yeah, big Morocco. I know they knocked out my Portugal, but at the end of the day, listen, I got this trophy to console myself. Do you know what I'm saying? I got the Euros to control myself. A lot of people have never seen their nation win anything, so it is what it is. I've seen my nation win something. So, well, one of my nations. So, but listen, I want it for Africa, man. I want it for Africa. I want it for it being a very good look for Africa and that continent and those people. So at the end of the day, as an African, I'm back in Morocco, man. Do you not put your score predictions for the game today? Do you think France are going to win or do you think Morocco is going to win? Hit that like button. Come on, man. Big up Neo, man. Hit the like button, caramba. We're back. Mama made it. I'm back, caramba. You know what I mean? Another one. Another video. Do you know what I'm saying? 2 videos yesterday, another video today. Yeah? Okay. Back to being consistent. You know what I'm saying? People all smash that like button when you come in. Let me see everyone showing the support. Come on, bro. D1 every day, man. Arsenal Manic as well. I don't think you lot will get Ferran Torres. Thought he left us because he claims he was missing family and friends. There you go. I mean, you know more of him. He was at your club, but I just didn't think he was good enough for you lot anyway. Like, anyone's going to look sourcing in that Man City team. Like, let's be real. Like, that team and that squad is run so well and is coached so well. Anyone's going to be sourcing in that team, bro. You lot won the league without even playing a main striker. So this is what I'm saying. Flipping out. Even the microphone don't want Ferran Torres. You know what I'm saying? Like, no. Esse filho da puta pode ficar aí, Barcelona, yeah? Stay there. You're Spanish. You're back at home. You got flipping siestas whenever you want. You got a praia. You got flipping high school. You got everything there. Do you know what I'm saying? Just go to the beach in Barcelona is nice as well. I've been to Barcelona. Let him just stay over there. I don't want him at Arsenal. You know what I mean? Don't go anywhere. If you can't find better players than Eddie, Cedric, Holding, Elneny, etc., you are not fit to manage Arsenal. Couldn't have put it any better, bro. Big up to you. Couldn't have put it any better. Time and time again, we have left it. We have been left in a pickle. Last Jan was a disgrace, and the summer window was half accomplished. And getting to star players from City who have never played a full season and have injuries. There you go. I mean, I don't begrudge Arsenal getting Zinchenko and Jesus. I think they're gonna be very good players for Arsenal. Yeah. The problem is we already knew that we needed more than that. And what did the club do? Just get Zinchenko and Jesus and job done. Job done. And then when Partey gets an injured, let's quickly go and get flipping Douglas Luiz. Like, you know, now we only got one striker and now we're quickly running to go get another striker. Do you know what I'm saying? It's ridiculous. It's pathetic. It's actually pathetic. I completely agree with you. Take me back. Big up to you, bro. You're always tuning in as well, man. Big up to you. Why would that brother sign new deal? Such a fool. I'm not sure who you're talking about, bro. You're going to have to say the name. Arteta giving Eddie a new contract was a big mistake. He isn't good enough. He'll live and die by that sword, isn't it? It is what it is. It is what it is, man. I'm not believing any of this. They've lied to us for years. The club didn't give Eddie 1K a week to sign a new striker. Listen, I kind of agree with you. Listen, I don't think Arsenal are stupid enough to stick with just Eddie. I think we may get a striker, but if we get a big name striker, I think that would be job done. And if we only get one player in January, to me, this club is not serious about competing, because we've already been banging on since the season started that, you know, as soon as we start rotating and bringing in a lot of these bench players, the level of the team just drops. And we could see it in the Europa League. We could see that, you know, even against these teams that we think is inferior, when we're using this bench, it's not impressive. It really has not been impressive. Let's just keep it a buck. So we need to not only get another striker, we need to also strengthen in a lot of areas that we don't have adequate rotation. Personally, the best way for me, in my opinion, to improve the team, get better than what you currently have. You know, get a winger that's going to put Saka on the bench. That's how you get better. That's how you get better. Get a striker that's better than Jesus. Get a cam that's better than Odegaard. You know, it only brings out the best. Real Madrid are always stuck with players on the bench that could be starters and starters that could be on the bench. You know what I mean? And you know, what's that saying? Is it metal sharpens metal or something? What's that? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, top players push top players. But when you're bringing on, when we're going in for Marquinhos's and we're going in for Fabi Vieira's, when we're going in for players like that, they're not pushing anyone on. They're not spurring anyone on. Do you know what I'm saying? They're not making the starting 11 players think, oh, well, you know, I got to turn up this weekend, otherwise, you know, Fabi Vieira is going to take my place. You know, come on, let's be real. When has Jesus ever played a full season? He's always injured. Great player, but 3 to 4 months is a big chunk. And rushing players back from injury is also an issue. Exactly, 100% agree, bro. That's just of him being injured. Then he needs to get, you know, back up to speed. He needs to gain match fitness. Then he needs to psychologically get over an injury. A big injury always hits a player harder mentally than it is physically. Because all of a sudden they realize, especially if it's their first big injury, they realize that their body is more fragile than it's ever been. Like, I've never had an injury, so I'm gonna bust a gut when I'm on the pitch because I've never had my body fail on me. When your body fails on you, we've seen it from players talking, you know, about, you know, major injuries. A lot of times they never come back the same because they're not going to put that extra mile in because they're scared if, you know, another player comes in with a scissor kick and their foot gets trapped and all of a sudden, am I going to be out again? Is my leg fully healed? Is it going to snap again? Am I going to go through that pain? I don't want to go through that pain anymore. So I'm not going to bust a gut the way I used to before, you know, I broke my foot or I had a knee injury or etc. etc. So it's as much mental as it is physical. So I completely agree with you, bro. I completely agree with you. Like 3-4 months when you're looking at our fixtures, 3-4 months. I mean, January, February, March. I mean, into March, we've got a lot of hard games going into March, man. And listen, the season's almost over by that point. So listen, yeah, good luck to seeing him back. It is what it is. Hello, Northside by Joanne. Big up, Joanne. Thank you for tuning in. How are you? How are you? Hope you're all good. Big up to everyone that's tuned in. Sean Dyche should get the England job. Will make them eat bricks. Listen, I don't understand this whole thing. Oh, you got to be English to manage England. Like at the end of the day, if none of the English managers are good enough, then what's the point? Like, I think Graham Potter would have been an excellent fit for this England team, but he's at Chelsea. That's the only other British manager that I think that I rate off the top of my head. All the rest of them ain't good enough. So if you got a golden generation, and a golden generation doesn't come about all the time, if the better manager that is available is foreign, just go get it done. Like, why does it have to be a race thing? I don't really understand. Why has a British manager got to be British? Like, I couldn't care less where the Portuguese manager's from. If he's the best man for the job and he gets us winning the World Cup and the Euros again, I don't care. I couldn't care less. I'm still going to celebrate it. So who really cares? Do you know what I'm saying? And if listen, everyone talk about the English manager's got to be English. Most people don't want an English manager for their football club because the best managers in the world are foreign. They're not English. So at the end of the day, if we already established that the best managers are foreign, if you really want England, if you're an England fan and you really want England to win, why are you really pushing for the England managers? Because none of them are going to take them at club level. So how much do you really rate them? I don't really get it. I don't really get it, man. I don't really get it. Also, weren't these guys the one that threw away top 4 last year because they were ahead of schedule? These guys will not buy a striker in Jan. Listen, this ahead, bro. You're hitting the nail on the head, Mo, bro. Like, at the end of the day, this ahead of schedule, bro. I don't give a shit. You know what I'm saying? We're behind. We're behind schedule because this club has not won a league title in almost 20 years. So we're behind schedule. I don't want to hear none of this. We're ahead of schedule, bro. If we're ahead of schedule, then go out there and do what needs to be done to stay ahead of schedule. You know what I'm saying? I don't care. Like, yeah, I never hear teams like Bayern Munich saying we're ahead of schedule. But Real Madrid, we're ahead of schedule. Bro, the aim is to win. And the better the club gets, the better players you can attract. Once you're in the Champions League or once you're up there competing for the title, better players you can get, go out there and get them. I don't want to hear that. Bro, I'm with you, bro. This club, bro, this ahead of schedule is the biggest load of BS to make the club seem like we're doing so well and we're all of a sudden not going to get a big player. Like, it makes no sense. It makes no sense. Man City won the league, yeah? Did they say, oh, we're ahead of schedule, we won the league, yeah? We're not going to go buying Haaland. No, they went and bought Haaland. Do you know what I'm saying? So Arsenal should go out there and do what needs to be done. It doesn't change anything. If anything, it makes us more ambitious, the fact that we're ahead of schedule. We can now attract even bigger players. Now a striker like Vlahovic would want to come to Arsenal because we're no longer finishing 5th and 8th. We're now, competing for the league. So now we look a lot more desirable. Do you get what I'm saying? So if they use that as an excuse, I'm telling you that now, I'm not having it. I'm not having it. Vlahovic ain't it, bro. I don't blame you, bro. He ain't it, but at the same time, bro, how many world-class strikers are really out there that we can go and get? We ain't getting Mbappe. We ain't getting Haaland. You know what I'm saying? Who are we really gonna get, bro? Julian Alvarez just went to Man City. He's having a good World Cup. I know he's not world class, but at the moment he's unproven. But then so is Rafael Leao, so is Andres Silva, so is a lot of these strikers that are buzzing around. Victor Osimhen, another one. He's unproven. We haven't seen them in the Premier League, so it's kind of the best of the bunch. The best of the second level bunch. None of these men are really proven. So and this is why I preferred Ivan Toney, but. Listen, maybe you've seen more of Vlahovic. I'm not even debating if he's good enough or not. Maybe that, but it is what it is, man. Yusuf N. Nasiri. Listen, I don't know if I'd take him. I'll be honest with you. I think there's better options, if I'm going to be completely honest with you. Would you take Giroud back? I was rated Giroud. Would I take Giroud back? No. I wouldn't take Giroud back. But big up Giroud, but I wouldn't take him back. I think when he was at Arsenal, it was very frustrating. When he left Arsenal, I think his career elevated, but I think he was always a good striker. It was just funny how that worked out. A lot of people were sucking off Lacazette, and Giroud was always the better striker. Do you know what I'm saying? When we had Giroud, it was all about, oh, he's slow, he's this and that. And then we got Lacazette that plays exact same way, back to goal. Do you know what I'm saying? and kind of he works his magic more in the box, hasn't got the rapid speed. And look who's the better striker. So it is what it is, man. It is what it is. Giroud went 15 games without scoring. Pratt cost us the title. This is what I'm saying. For Arsenal, he wasn't the same Giroud you saw at, in Serie A for Chelsea. So for me, I'd pass on Giroud. But big up Giroud, though. Would you take Roberto Firmino at Arsenal? There was a rumor he may look to leave Liverpool. Why would he leave Liverpool and come to Arsenal, though? That's the only thing I can't see. But why would you leave Arsenal? If you're leaving Liverpool, you're going City, which I don't see City going in for him, or you're probably going to go to La Liga. Do you know what I'm saying? I don't really see him coming to Arsenal. I'll be real with you. I don't really see him coming to Arsenal. But yeah, I mean, listen, there's always rumors surrounding Arsenal, but it is what it is, man. It is what it is. We take it with a pinch of salt. Retirement players don't do well at Arsenal. Yeah, I agree. That's true. Remember Willian? Ronaldo is still sniffing around us because he'd love to win a league and up his stats. Listen, Ronaldo needs to go to MLS. I've been saying it. He needs to go to MLS, man. And I think that'd be a good look for him. He'll get all the publicity. He's got Hollywood. You know what I mean? He already acts like he's a model. He's got Hollywood there. They've loads of sponsorships there. You could go where Gareth Bale is, LAFC, win it again. You know, where LAFC won the league there. Go over there. He'll probably, if Zlatan could do what he done over there in the MLS, even a washed out Ronaldo, I think, would do bits in the MLS. So why don't you just go to the MLS, man? Upcoming league. You know what I'm saying? Just go over there. Gonzalo Ramos is the one everyone needs to be looking at. Listen, I like Gonzalo Ramos, but he's not even had a full good season yet at Benfica. So I'm not too sure. I know he had a great performance against Switzerland, but overall, yeah, he hasn't really kicked on. And Benfica were looking to get rid of him. And it just so happens when we got Roger Schmidt to come in, the new Benfica coach, Benfica are still undefeated, doing very well in the Champions League and in the Portuguese league. Gonzalo Ramos just happened to have clicked, but he hasn't even had a good season yet. You got listen. Liverpool went and got Darwin Núñez. He only had one good season under his belt with Portugal. So I think the jury's still out with Gonzalo Ramos. He looks very good, but it may be a bit premature to bring him to the Premier League, in my opinion. It may be premature because he hasn't even done it for a season for Benfica yet, being the main man. Do you know what I'm saying? So I think that's a little bit risky, bro. But big up to you, man. How much is the asking price for Felix? How much is he worth in your opinion? I think the asking, the figures keep going up and down. They bought him for 120. I think they're looking for about 60, 70 mil. I would take him for 55 to 60 mil. I would take João Felix. Arteta wants teacher pet. Arteta wants teachers pets. Can't even read today. Yeah, big up, bro. It is what it is, man. You don't want no one that's going to challenge him. You know what I mean? Because he'll get rattled. Why have Felix when we have Vieira? Come on, man. Be real. Mudryk over Zaha. I don't know, man. Mudryk sounds like Modric. If he's anywhere as good, let's get him. Listen. Let's see. We've seen a lot of players with a lot of hype come in and not deliver. He's got cool hair. Sign him up. You, man, must be capping, man. Come on, what's going on? Big up Northside. Big up to you, man. What are you saying? Bro? He's saying, I ain't seen you in a while. Any player is going to take time to adjust. Zaha is good, but too one-dimensional and predictable. I mean, he's ready to kick on now. And you could be effective in certain games. If Martinelli's not effective that game, or if Saka's not effective that game, I don't mind putting on Zaha. You could do a lot worse. So I get what you're saying. He might be one-dimensional, but he's Premier League proven. Mudryk ain't Premier League proven. So this is the thing. These players want to come to Arsenal from reports. Why aren't we active? What's going on? Listen, this is what I'm saying. Do you know what I'm saying? Every day, Tielemans' deal's edging closer. I don't understand how hard it is to get that deal over the line. Do you remember when we were linked to Basuma? Tottenham came in straight away. They got him. Like, I don't believe most of these reports, man. Most of the time, these lot are chatting crap. You know what I mean? Zaha, for me, really. What's this? I want Enzo and Felix. Enzo Fernandes, I mean, he came over from, I think it's the Argentinian league. Enzo Fernandes at Benfica is doing very, very well. But another one, he hasn't even done it for a year yet at Benfica. So I don't know if he's ready for that jump. He's doing very well at Benfica, but the Portuguese league compared to you're comparing the 6th strongest league in the world to the best league in the world. You know, it's a bit of a jump. I think Enzo Fernandez needs another year or two at Benfica before he makes a move. I think him and Gonçalo Ramos, I think it's a bit too premature for them to leave at the moment. But Liverpool have also been touted to look at Enzo Fernandez. So it is what it is, man. It is what it is. First day of the window, want to see signed players. No more fast. Listen, me too, bro. The bench is shit. I agree, bro. I couldn't agree anymore. Zaha is a beast. He will rip you apart, but will he fit into a possession-based team? I think he can, bro. I think he can. I hear your north side. Big up Enzo Fernandez or Ruben Neves. Ruben, that's a hard one. Both. That's a hard one. That's both. I'll take both. I'll take Trossard too. That Fernandez is a baller. He is a baller, but he's still raw, but he's a baller. Trossard would be a very good signing. That's what I'm saying. And Arteta's coming out with, if we can identify the right player. Like, this guy's an idiot. You know what I mean? Forget Nketiah, we need another striker for Jesus as well. I'm a fan of Jesus, but let's be real. Can't rely on Jesus. Gone on a goal drought, then injured for Brazil. If you sign Morata, I'm supporting another team. You could only push a man so far. Listen, I hear that, man. I hear that. Remember when Morata scored a hat-trick of offside goals? Listen, bruv, this guy's a bum, bro. Have you heard about this young Portuguese player, Carlos Borges, plays for my team academy. He is levels, bro. In years to come, we will see him in Portugal national team. I swear I've heard of this guy. Because one of my surnames is Borges. So when I saw that name, I was like, yo, like he got one of my last names. But yeah, like I heard of him, but I ain't seen him. So it's kind of one of them ones where I heard of it. I can't even remember where I heard of him, but I heard of him somewhere. I think it was from Football Daily. I think it was Football Daily did the videos about youngsters that should be given more minutes. I think Carlos Borges came up as one of the guys that should be given more minutes. Listen, it's all potential right now, but we'll see. We'll see, man. We'll see. It's all potential at the moment. Rob Holding's hair is back, though. Good afternoon from Pennsylvania, USA. Yo, big up to you, man. Watching from Pennsylvania. Yo, that's mad. What time is it in America? Right now in the UK, it's 6:25 for this. I ain't even had dinner yet. Listen, the match is at 7, man. I'm going to have my dinner and watch the game because I really want to watch the game today. Really want to watch Morocco, man. Hopefully Morocco can do it. 7 p.m., man. Allow those teams. Not trying to be rude, but it's not 2002. 2022, we can't buy these little teams for their players no more. There is so many factors you have to take in. Bro, that's absolute gas. Absolute gas, bro. Yes, you can. Yeah, a lot of the time, these players, listen, back in the day, yeah, you can finesse a lot of these smaller teams. These days, you can't finesse them, yeah? You're going to have to play good money for them unless they're running down their contract like a Tielemans or players like Basuma, and you can get them at a cut price. But at the end of the day, these teams are selling teams. Let's not get it twisted, yeah? Fulham is a selling team, yeah? Brentford are a selling team. Yeah, they do very well in recruiting these teams, but they're selling team. At the end of the day, you pay the right amount of money. That's it. Mahrez, look, Leicester won the league, yeah, with a bunch of players that they scouted, right, bought cheap, and they unearthed a lot of gems. Mahrez got sold, Kante got sold, and they were pivotal players for them winning the league. So no one's going to tell me that you can't do that because I see teams doing it all the time. Do you know what I'm saying? Yes, it can be done. Are you going to get them as cheap as you can get a player maybe from the Portuguese league, Italian league, the Spanish league? No, because the Premier League teams, even though they don't have as much as the big six, they still have a lot of money in comparison to the world of football because of the league that they play in. But you can still definitely get their players, and I don't know. I don't agree with that. I don't agree. I do not agree with that, bro. Do you want João Felix at Arsenal? Yes. D1, everyone remember to hit the like button if you haven't already. Big up to you, bro. Big up to you. Listen, let me get the. It's a long time since I got the Chanel out. Hit the like button, feel it. Listen, no vamos repetir. Hit the like button. I'm gonna dash the flipping sandal at this camera, bro. Hit the like button. Don't be a filo da puta. Hit the like button. Support the channel. Support the video. Do you know what I'm saying? Man's out here. I flipping got qualms in the side of my mouth. My mouth is dry and ashy. You know what I'm saying? My lips are drying. My hands are looking ashy. It's 6:30. I haven't had dinner. I ain't even got a drink here. I got some dried out, crusty flipping shazin. What's it now? Cafecino here. You know what I'm saying? Some dry, crispy coffee there. Giving you lot content and you lot can't even hit the like button. For this. So get him for dead cabeza, man. Don't be Phillies that put. Make sure you like and subscribe, man. Big up to D1. Big up to all of you lot. Oregon Gooner, all of you lot, man. Big up to all of you lot. Back at Bolton when we signed him from rubbish. Would you take Morata? Nope. Absolutely not. Nunes is Morata with a ponytail. Listen, Nunes can still come good, man. You know what I mean? He can still come good. No Ronaldo being a cancer in their dressing room. United could make a solid run. I agree, man. I rate Ten Hag, man. And I like his decisions as well. You know what I mean? He's been talking about Sancho and how Sancho, his fitness and his mentality is not up there yet. It needs to improve. He's explaining why certain players aren't playing. The way he dealt with Ronaldo. Like, everything he's been in over there at Man United, you can't lie. Like, he's getting it right. You know, bringing in Casemiro, world-class player. Bringing in Anthony, he's looking sourcing. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I think, you know, listen, I think Ten Hag is going to be a problem. And this is why Arsenal need to utilize every transfer window like January before we see a what's the word? I lost the word now. Resurgence of Man United. We need to do what we need to do now. Before Man United start becoming more attractive, before Newcastle become more attractive, we need to hit the iron while it's hot and do what we need to do. Eddie is second choice. We ain't signing a striker. Listen, we'll see. I don't think you lot are going to be ready for my striker Erling Haaland after the World Cup, especially how he has had so much rest. We'll see, bro. We'll see. Northside, bro, where has Smith Rowe vanished to for you lot? Bro, he keeps getting injured. And if he continues to keep getting injured, we're going to have to start raising question marks about this guy because the injury record ain't looking great. It really ain't looking great, just like Zinchenko. So, yeah, we'll see. I really like Emil Smith Rowe, and I want it to work out for him at Arsenal. I really rate the kid. You know, he's very direct. I like the way he's, you know, technically gifted on the ball. I think he's a good player. He's got all the makings of a good player. But listen, for you to develop, you need to be fit enough. You need to be available enough to develop your game. And if you're always on the treatment room, we've already seen that story before at Arsenal with Diaby and other players that spend more time in the treatment room than they do on the pitch. And ultimately, it's going to cost you your career. I mean, we saw Jack Wilshere as well. So much potential, but injury finished him, you know. Also, it's very important what the players do. Like, I don't know what ESR does off the pitch, but the way you look after yourselves, you know what I mean? Sleeping right, right diet, the right lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? So all of that, you know, is gonna go into if he actually reaches his potential or he falls by the wayside, like Diaby and Jack Wilshere. Smash the likes up. Come on, man. Smash the likes up, people. If we get a winger that's going to stop Smith Rowe's development on that wing, even for me, I prefer him playing as a 10 anyway. Yeah, I prefer him as a 10 anyway. So at the end of the day, he has to fight for his position anyway. Like, all of this stopping his development, I'm not hearing none of that chat, to be real with you, my guy, because at the end of the day, all the big clubs, if you're a big club, you have to expect there's going to be big players ahead of you. You got to fight to get into the team. That's how it goes. That's how it goes. And if you're not liking it, go out on loan and prove yourself out on loan and have a great season. And then, you know, you can work yourself back into the manager's plans. But big clubs at Arsenal, I'm not up for all of this stopping, you know, stopping this guy's development. No, if anything, it should spur him on. And a club like Arsenal are in so many competitions. Emil Smith Rowe can still prove himself in the cup competitions, in the FA Cup and in the Carabao Cup, when I'm expecting Arsenal to do heavy rotation. So I'm not really with all of that, you know, stunting the guy's growth at the end of the day, because you're talking about stunting the growth. We can give Emil Smith Rowe all the time in the world and not bring anyone that's better than him. He may not even turn out to reach his full potential. Then you've wasted all that time on a player that never reached his full potential in the first place. So I'm not with all of that. I'm not with all of that. I remember when some Arsenal fans were saying, we're trying to say that Partey is better than Rodri. He's not. He is not. No way. Impossible. Listen, Partey's a very good player, but he's not on the same level as Rodri. Rodri is up there, up there in the top 2, top 3 centre backs in the world, if not the best. So listen, he's up there. He's really up there. So yeah, I mean, I'm not saying Partey isn't, but Rodri's, come on, let's be serious. You know what I mean? But that's Arsenal fans. Whoever plays for Arsenal is the best in their position, the best youngster, the best this, the best that. So I don't understand why, a lot of times they don't want to push this club to win the league. If we've got the best youngsters, the best players in every position, you know what I'm saying? The best young manager in world football, there shouldn't be any excuse. We should be going for the title and actually winning it. What's this? Vieira. Oh, Vieira. He's the answer on North side. Your fave Portuguese player. He's the man of all trades. Can play all positions and shine. This guy, bro. Arsenal man, you're trying it. You are trying it, bro. Northside, do you want Iwobi back, bro? This guy, man. Listen, allow all of that. Facts, Northside. Being first and having some pull to get good players needs to happen now. That's what I'm saying, bro. It's as simple as that. I'm a Man City fan, but I have to admit, man, bro, you do speak facts. Big up to you, bro. Love, man. Love, love, love. Listen, it is what it is, man. Like, when you want the best for your club, this is what this is how it should be, bro. This is how it should be. It shouldn't be, oh, let's go get a nobody flipping Bamba from the Portuguese league that nobody knows that ain't good enough. Let's go and get Paulinho. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not even hard. Like, this is the thing. It's not even hard. It's not like we're trying to get a player from the clutches of Real Madrid or something. There's so many players that we could go out and get, and we just don't do it. And I've always said it before, and I'll say it and I'll say it again. Man United, yeah, the reason Fergie was able, obviously Fergie was amazing tactically. He was amazing at rebuilding the squad. But he was also amazing at looking at the lower teams and getting their best players and bringing them to Man United most of the time. You know what I'm saying? And that's what Arsenal need to do. Like, when you're looking at Brentford's, when you're looking at Aston Villa's, when you're looking at Brighton's, Leicester's, all these, they're smaller teams. We should be taking their best players, but we don't. We don't. And I just don't understand. Like, a lot of answers that we need to this team are here in this league within lower teams, but we just don't go and do it. It's ridiculous. Tielemans' deal is dead as fuck, like Elvis, bro. It is what it is, bro. I didn't even bring up Tielemans and talk about. I'm so sick of Tielemans. I don't even care anymore. Because let's be real, I don't even think Tielemans is world class. Like, the way this dragging on. Now, I'm done. Epa. Eu já não quero saber mais, está-me a estressar a cabeça, está-me a foder a cabeça, não mereço, não preciso o stress, não preciso nada disso. Like, I'm done with Tielemans, bro. I don't even care if he comes anymore. I actually couldn't give a shit. I don't care if he comes anymore. I'm so sick of it. When Arsenal drag these flipping players, yeah, it's coming, it's not coming. The journals are squeezing every last juice out of the rumor when they don't really know who's coming. They're not real insiders in anything. I'm done, man. They can put whatever headline they want next to Tielemans. Tielemans, war chest. Arsenal are in final talks. All this bullcrap, bro. I know nothing's going on. These journals talk absolute nonsense. You know what I mean? Ronaldo trained with Real Madrid. Yes, I did see that. He did, but not with Ancelotti's squad. Private training. What's this here? What else do you lot put in? I expect no one to leave the club. We can't keep getting rid of rotation and not getting a replacement, though that just makes us weaker. We need to add a lot more to this team. So I'm saying, this is what I'm saying, man. Tony, Tielemans, Milinkovic-Savic, better Arsenal bring them to the club. This is what I'm saying, Francisco. Big up to you, Francisco, man. This is, bro, you know what I mean? There's no excuse to Arsenal. There's really no excuse. I'd like Morocco to go all the way, but I think France win 2-0 or 3-0, and they win the final. I'm not having it. Morocco knocked out Portugal, so I want them to get slapped tonight. I want to see Mbappe. Bro, do you know what it is, yeah? Do you know what it is, D1? I'll be real. They beat us fair and square, bro. They beat us fair and square, so I can't be salty. If we were robbed, maybe I would agree with you, but I have to be completely honest. They had more heart. They played more as a team. They didn't just play up to the occasion. They played with heart. And they were just better coached. So fair play to them. Let them go win it. You know what I mean? Another win for Africa. We've already had France that 99% of their team are all Africans. Yeah. So we've had Africa win the World Cup before. This will really be Africa winning it again. And Wakanda for life. I'm out here. I'm here for it. I'm here for it. My prediction, 3-1 France. Fair enough. Listen, I get why people are saying France. Like, I'm not deluded. I get why people are saying France. But I think France will win it. I want Morocco to win it. And I agree with Fear of Black London. I think if Morocco do it, it will be a 1-0. I agree, man. My African brothers win the World Cup, man. Come on, man. Come on. Big up to Africa, man. Big up. Welcome back. Big up to you, bro. We're back, man. We're back. We're back with the consistency. France to win from the first half. They're just too good. I want Messi, the GOAT, to win it. But I think France, I think it will be France again. Listen, this World Cup's been full of shockers, so let's see. Gonna be honest with you, bro. I wanted us to keep Zinchenko. I've heard a lot of Man City fans say that. I've heard a lot of Man City fans say that, to be fair. Northside got that heating because it's freezing. Yeah, man, gotta have the heating on, bro. The window ain't open. That's why I'm not smoking in there. I can't open the window. It's freezing. Word is freezing in London, bro. I'm so sick of it, bro. Actually, I'm not kind of sick of it. It's kind of making it feel more Christmassy, if I'm being completely honest. Like the fact that it's snowing and whatever. I might even do. I think I'm gonna do a Christmas special as well. I might do a video Christmas special. You know what I mean? Christmas special. I think that's what I might do. Enzo, Felix, and Mudryk. Tony would be good too. That's what I'm saying, man. Enzo gonna be 80 mil. Yeah, they just bought him, so we didn't. They ain't gonna let him go for cheap. The fans are to blame for not raising the standards. This is what I'm saying. Do you know what I mean? And then as soon as the standards are, the funny thing with Arsenal fans, yeah, all of you lot, yeah, us lot that always want Arsenal to do the best, to go and get the best, to be the best, to have high standards, to be run like a club that's actually winning football trophies first instead of trying to market ourselves like we're just looking at the stock shares. We kept the standard high, yeah, and we got bashed for it. Now that Arsenal are top of the league, all these Arsenal fans that told us not to keep the high standards are now happy. And this is what I find crazy. It's like you bash us for winning high standards and wanting to win the league, and now you're happy that we're up there and we have the potential, we have the chance to win the league. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy, bro. Like, they don't want us to say that we're going to go up there to challenge for a league title. And then as soon as we are, oh, look how good we're doing. Look at what Mikel Arteta is doing. It's like, bro, this is what people like us lot have been wanting in the first place. Do you know what I'm saying? It's crazy, man. These men are just dumb. Like, they don't know what they want. They don't know what they want. They bash you for wanting more. And then when we're getting more, they want to celebrate it. Makes no sense. They weren't saying this about England women's manager, who's Dutch, were they? Good point. They weren't. Exactly. Who cares if the England manager is English or not? Who really cares? Are all English fans not going to celebrate if a non-English manager wins the World Cup with England? Like, it's just dumb. Like, there's no need to do that. Like, you know what I mean? Get me Mourinho, Conceição, or Fonseca, or Amorim for the Portugal job. Yeah, listen, Conceição and Amorim are good shots, but I'd rather Mourinho. Knockout football. He knows what he's doing. He got the experience. He always said that at one point he wants to manage Portugal. I think this is the prime time. In about 18 months, we got the Euros. You know, he can go in there. The players are 2 years older. They're now hitting their prime. By the time the next World Cup is, most of these players are in their prime. And Mourinho likes players that are experienced. We've got experience by that time. Do you know what I'm saying? So I think it's a perfect time for Mourinho to take over. Julian Alvarez is different gravy, bro. The boy was sourcing, bro. The boy was sourcing for Argentina yesterday, bro. I can't even lie. I love the way you answered that. Would you take Giroud back? No. Bro, I just gotta be real, man. Like, I just wouldn't take him back. Probably a Lautaro Martinez in the summer. I bet they addressed the striker problem. Then he could eventually get us 20 plus goals. Listen, I'm not convinced by Lautaro Martinez. I'm not convinced with it. I don't think he's good enough to do it by himself for Inter Milan, and I don't think he's good enough to do it by himself for Argentina. And once they put Messi and Julian Alvarez up there, you saw the performance that we saw against Croatia. So I'm not too sure. Like, I think a lot of times this guy, I don't think he's that great. I think he played very well playing off Lukaku, but Arsenal don't play like that. We don't play with two strikers like that. So, and not the way that he plays. So I just feel like, nah. Get João Felix, drop him as a number 10, and then get Vlahovic or get Osimhen or get Rafael Leao or try and get Ivan Toney if he's, if his legal thing is sorted out. That's what I'd rather do. I would say Felix is worth about 55 to 60. Yeah, I agree. Completely agree. The Depay is another. Jesus ain't going to get us 20 plus goals. I think Depay is a very good player. I think he's a very good player. I think he's a bit like Zaha, that he went to Man United a bit too early. He wasn't ready for that. But since being away from Man United, he's developed into a very, very good player. I think Depay is a good player. I just don't see him come to Arsenal, though. I don't want to be giving Arsenal advice, but you lot should be looking at Neto. Yeah, bro, I've been saying I want Neto, bro. Can't lie to you. I want Neto, D1. I want both João Felix and Mudryk at Arsenal. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, we need free signings. I don't care what no one says, yeah? We ain't winning the league if we don't get free signings. We need free signings this January. Good signings as well. I'm talking about top signings. I ain't talking about no bums. You know what I'm saying? Otherwise, we ain't winning nothing. What's your thoughts on Nicolas Pepe? Very good player. I think he's a very good player. Not worth the price tag. Not worth 70 mil, but a very good player. And if he was actually coached properly, I think could become a very, very good player. But it is what it is. For me, I just think sometimes he just does too much on the ball, where he just needs to keep it simple and direct, the way that Martinelli does it, the way that Saka does it. I think he complicates it a lot. But in terms of finishing, he's up there with Saka and Martinelli. I would say he's a better finisher than Martinelli, and I'd say he's up there as a good finisher as Saka, to be honest with you. It's just everything else that's frustrating about Nicolas Pepe. But we don't really have a manager that can really coach players in that way. So it is what it is. He's got no future at Arsenal. I thought we got robbed. Bruno Fernandes should have had a pen. I'm claiming everything, bro. You're going on the shameless thing. D1's going on the shameless thing, bro. It is what it is. Well, if we get Mudryk, Smith Rowe ain't going to get ahead of him or Martinelli. I just don't see it happening for him, unfortunately. I think Emil Smith Rowe should be rotated as a number 10 if we don't get João Felix. But I'd get João Felix and rotate him with Emil Smith Rowe. Odegaard's all right. But yeah, it is what it is, man. Listen, it's better to have too many options than not enough. And the problem is with Arsenal, we don't have enough options. And it's always the same porcaria, doing the same crap. And it is what it is. Listen, people, make sure you stay tuned in. And I'm going to try to be doing a video every weekday. The weekend, I'll try and see if I can do quick videos. But the weekend, I'll kind of try and make it to myself. So I have some time to rest. Because, yeah, every day, finishing work, doing the thumbnail, trying to make a good thumbnail, as good thumbnails I can possibly make it. Also getting the content, looking it up. And then, look, an hour, 20 minutes. I ain't even had a drink, nothing. My mouth is ashy right now. Right now, I feel like I can taste dust. I can taste the flavor there's no flavor in my mouth right now. There's just nothing, just dust right now. So listen, it is what it is, man. Let's see what Arsenal do. Let's see what we get up to and what we do. We're linked to everyone, as always. For me, I don't listen to these journals. Most of these journals are bums, apart from Romano. Apart from Romano, I don't really listen to any of them. A lot of them chat crap. A lot of them are yes man for the club. A lot of them haven't got the best interest of Arsenal. A lot of them just want to feed us bullshit instead of actually saying the truth. And I just take it with a pinch of salt. I believe all these rumors when I see it. We're linked to Mudryk. We've seen all the quotes from Mudryk. I've not seen this deal advance. We've been looking at Tielemans. I've not seen this deal advance, even though the player wants to leave. We were linked to Vlahovic. That was a load of BS because his agent come out and told us we weren't looking at him. We were linked to Alexander Isak. That was a load of crap. Do you remember when everyone's running after his car? Absolutely embarrassing. I can't believe man are tracking his car and all that. It's just embarrassing. But do you literally not have like a PlayStation? Do you not have a girlfriend? Do you not have friends? Do you not have motives? Like, do you not know your local pub? I don't know. Do something. Like, you're tracking man's number plate. Like, it's not that deep. Like, this is why we got journalists. Like, this is why we got, you know what I mean? Like, people that work for newspapers. Let them track them. You know what I mean? We're tracking Arsenal fans tracking planes and stuff. Like, honestly, like, I just look at them and think like just viados, man. Like, honestly, sometimes I just look at them like just stupidos. Like, some Arsenal fans are just stupidos. Like, You know what I mean? Like, it is what it is, man. Let's not gas up some of these players that we've not seen play ever. Let's just keep it with a pinch of salt and see what happens. Listen, Arsenal have got some very big games when just after Christmas. Man United, Brighton, Tottenham, you know, got some big games coming up, and we're not going to have Gabriel Jesus, so we need to be prepared. Listen, people, it is what it is. What's this? Just before we lock off, very active, 1 to 2 players at most. I think I don't believe the promises anymore, bro. Neither do I. Morocco look like they're going with a 5-4-1 formation. Just seen the team news, and no Rabiot for France. Smash the likes up on your way out. Exactly, people. Make sure you smash the likes up on your way out. We're 12 minutes away from kickoff for the France and Morocco game. And listen, it is what it is. Come on, Morocco. Come on, Wakanda. Finish that puta. Let's